Sup all, JC3 here, the baller of YouTube, the general. Welcome to Real Talk, and today we're tackling the topic of your questions, why I do this, and how faith influences everything. Let's get straight into it. Why do I do this? Why do I spend time making YouTube videos? Real talk is to influence, positively inspire, and prep myself for a career in sports broadcasting. That is something I've been interested in since day one. Commentating has always been something I've loved to do, and this channel is just an outlet to further that passion, and I'm glad that I get to bring it to you. Does faith influence everything that I do here? Real talk, it does. If you haven't seen before, I've left a comment, Bible verse, nearly every single video. I'm an unashamed believer. Romans 1:16, I'm unashamed of the gospel. It's the power of God unto salvation for everyone who believes. And this channel is also for everyone. I reject the label of this being a Christian sports channel. I reject that with everything within me. But you need to understand, I'm not gonna hold back my faith. This is something that you can take some assurance in when you watch my videos. I don't do it for money. I don't do it for views. I don't do it for numbers. Even if I put out a video gets 1 million views, I don't slack off on the next one. I don't say I've made it. And as someone who takes time and invests their time in me, I'm appreciative to you. And I'm never gonna shortchange you. You're gonna get my very best at everything I do. And that is something I can guarantee to you. Before I start answering your Q&As, I wanna do a quick lightning round of questions, so here we go. What are my top 3 shoes? Tied for third is the KD10 What the? Of course, I did a video on this shoe. It's what KD wore all throughout the Western Conference Finals and 2018 NBA Finals last postseason. And we got the Jordan 11 Space Jam 2016 Retro 45 on the heel. Number 2, the KD4 scoring titles. Now, the bandwagon people would say that this is a Golden State colorway, but KD had this in 2012 in Oklahoma City when he got another scoring title added to his repertoire. And finally, number 1, this is my grail, Kobe 7 All-Star Galaxy. Who is my favorite basketball player? Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. Who is my favorite music artist? Lecrae.
Look, I was created to make a statement of sentence the earth on this mission, trying to make a way from my siblings, brothers and sisters who drinking.
I started listening to Lecrae when I was 10 years old, and I've been rocking with him ever since. He's the first rapper that I ever listened to. If you haven't checked him out, you need to go listen to him because he's got the lyricism and he's got the flow just like all your other favorite artists, and the message is what really matters, and he has it there. So go ahead, if you haven't checked out Lecrae, you need to go check him out. Alright, I want to get into some of your questions and answers. This is what I put up on Stories Community tab a week ago. Thank you to everybody who submitted, and I'm getting to all your questions. Let's go. We got Preston Walter. What has been your favorite YouTube video to make? Also, happy holidays, my man. If you didn't know, PWalt21, him and I go way back. When I used to do gaming videos, I did a bunch of videos with him back in the day. Probably my favorite video to make though, Real Talk, has got to be the video I did on Shaq versus Hakeem, how Shaq was not intimidated by Hakeem because I slipped in this God comment and it set this comment section on fire. Kind of made me happy because, hey, we started a discussion. All right, next up we got Abraham Manario asks a great question. How did you become a person of faith? This is basically my testimony. I'll make it real quick. I don't have any crazy story like I was on drugs or something like that. I just realized when I was about 7 years old, I was in a church, they gave an altar call, and I didn't really even feel myself put my hand up. I just responded to it like it was just meant to be. And so basically at that moment, I just realized, hey, I've done wrong, and there is perfection, and that perfection is what the Word of God says and says to do, and I have broken that. And the only remedy I have to make me right is Jesus Christ, His love, His mercy, His grace. And so that's the reason I pledge my life to Him. And all we have to do is say, Lord, I'm surrendering my life to you. I believe in you. And we have a chance to live beyond this life. which is short. I mean, we could live 80 years, some people live 50, some people live 20, some people don't even live to 10 years. But that's a real hope. All right, we got Angel Perez. Why did you start making NBA content? That's a very good question. I switched over at about the end of 2016. I started to distance myself and move away from NBA 2K. There really wasn't anything new to do. It was kind of dying, honestly. Like the type of videos you can make. Like I'm gonna do a my career, I'm gonna do a my team. It's the same thing every single year. I'm grateful for everybody that came along board for the 2K, and now I'm just gonna take that to another level and let's bring this thing to real life. Let's bring this thing from virtual reality to reality. And I know I lost some people in that. It was a risk, but I'm so glad that I took that because we've gained even more people. We've got a much more interactive community. Demboy VL, why don't you show your subs? Dan McKeever, how many subscribers do you have? The reason why I hit it, and I think I hit it around 5,000 to 10,000 subscribers, it was motivation really for me. And I said, I'm gonna grind as hard as I can. I'm really just like gonna not look at the numbers. I mean, these people, they spend time to watch your videos. You give them the content regardless of the numbers. And so really that was my mindset. In no way by me hiding the numbers says I don't appreciate you. If anything, it says I appreciate you more because I'm not focused on that number. I'm focused on the content. Lally8H, if you're starting an NBA team, Doncic or Simmons? I'm gonna go with Doncic. Lally8H, Russell or Kyrie? Russell is amazing at the end of the day too, but I'm gonna go with Kyrie. Champion, clutch, and he's proven it in the biggest stage. I mean, he's the best ball handler in the NBA. All right, that's gonna do it for Real Talk. Thank you for submitting all your questions, for sitting through and listening to just a little bit about me personally, and I look forward to bringing you so much more content in this new year. That's it, JC3, out.